Sneha, co-founder and CEO DevCompass, and again I am super thrilled to have you guys here, and I hope you guys are having as much fun as I am having recording these videos, and I hope it's serving the purpose. You're having fun learning, you're getting better each day, and you absolutely love us. I hope all of this is true. We have covered a lot of topics, from Claude to prompting techniques to tools to a lot of stuff, everything, like so many concepts. At this point I have lost track of how many concepts we have covered, and we have a few more to go for. In the last video we were talking about vague instructions in general, and how do we go about few shot prompting and show Claude instead of just telling Claude what to do and how to give us the best response. This video is going to be around tool use for a very structured output, and why this has to be more reliable than you just stating it in your prompt that I need a JSON format output. Okay, so we will look into those things. Most of the time it does work, but sometimes it doesn't. So let's get started. Okay, so you can definitely ask Claude to output JSON in a prompt. Most of the time it will work, sometimes it doesn't. Claude adds a sentence before the JSON, wraps it in a markdown code fence, or omits a field you needed. For occasional use, prompt-based JSON is fine. For a production extraction pipeline, processing thousands of support tickets, that you need something more reliable. And tool use is exactly that. It gives you the schema enforcement at the API level. So Claude is forced to produce output that matches your schema, and it is not just asked to produce it. Now let's see how this works. Now, on the left side is ask for JSON scenario. Your system prompt says respond only in JSON. Your prompt asks for extracted fields as JSON. Claude responds. Now if you look at the example, like output example, here is the extracted ticket info JSON ... markdown fences preamble. And now look at the third annotation. So customer ID is silently omitted. Claude decided that the customer ID wasn't in the message and just left it out there. So I have put 3 warning badges on this card. Markdown fences need stripping, preamble needs detection, and required field silently omitted. Okay, but if you look at the right side of the card, tool use with schema, the output example is a clean tool use call which says structured data at the API level, no fences, no preamble. If you look at the customer ID, null, not omitted, present as null. So all these 3 badges, no fences, no preamble, everything is there. And it gives you a proper example, that name, extracted ticket, input, category, urgency, customer ID. Okay, so null is an answer, omitted is a bug. So when you ask for JSON, Claude omits a field, you can't tell whether the value wasn't there or Claude forgot to extract it. But when you use tool use with a required schema, null means that the value wasn't there. So omission is structurally impossible, and that is the difference, and that is the consistency that we need in production level systems. Now let me walk you through that extraction schema anatomy. Okay, at the top is what you reference in tool choice when you force Claude to call this specific tool, which is the name. The annotation says referenced in tool choice. That's the connection to video 7 tool choice tool option. Okay, when you want guaranteed extraction, you set tool choice to force this exact tool by name. You remember we discussed about 4 of them: auto, any, tool name, none. So this is what we're talking about. If you haven't, you need a revision, so rush back to that video. Then there is description field, what this tool is for. Now here it says specific. Same rules as stage 2, same rules as tool description, specific, unambiguous, enough context that Claude knows exactly when to call it. Then there is category. Okay, it is a field with enum. Look at the enum values: billing, shipping, returns, technical, other, and look at the description. Use other if unclear. Add detail in the category detail. Now look at the category detail below it. Type, string or null. Description, required when category is other. So everything connects to the other. If category is otherwise, okay, either it's string, it's null. This is the enum escape valve pattern. When a ticket doesn't fit in any specific category, Claude uses other and plus the detail in the category detail column. This is a reusable pattern for any extraction schema with a bounded enum. Always include an other option paired with a detail field and name it in your own schemas. Then there is a customer ID field, which is type string and null, nullable, and the description says explicitly do not fabricate. The instruction in that field description is what prevents Claude from inventing a customer ID when none is present. Say it in your field descriptions whenever the temptation to fabrication exists. Okay, we have discussed this before that it is equally important, in fact more important, for you to specify what you do not need, what Claude does not need to do, than what you need to do. And then there's a required array at the bottom. All 4 fields, every field is required. But customer ID and category detail are nullable. So in case it's not present, you can have null as the value. So they are required to be present in the output, but their value can be null. Okay. So null is allowed, omission is not allowed. And omission can happen if this was mentioned in a JSON format, because again it's in prompt. It can literally get lost if you are 40 steps in the conversation, right? So this is the structural guarantee that you get if you're using tool use. Okay. Now, the schema defines the structure, but the validator enforces it after extraction. And again, we are back with the amber code box. So we know that it's literally our code that we are talking about and not Claude, because this is a convention we have been using throughout. So the code on the screen is what a validation functions look like for the ticket extraction schema that we just built. The function takes the extracted data and runs 3 checks. Look at each check and its return value. Every check returns the same structure: a valid flag, a field that failed, and a reason you can use in a retry prompt. First check is a required fields present. If it's null, it's okay. Undefined or omission is not allowed. So it loops through category urgency, customer ID, category detail, and checks if the value is undefined. Not null is undefined. Null is allowed. Undefined means that the field was omitted entirely, which our schema does not really allow. If any field is undefined, it returns valid false, field name, reason, required field missing, omitted from extraction. This is the null is an answer, omitted is a bug principle in code. Please remember it. Second check is enum values are valid. It checks that category is one of the allowed values and that urgency is low, medium or high. If not, then go for valid false, field category, reason, invalid, enum value. Okay, that reason string is what you pass directly in your retry prompt. Third check, category detail consistency. If category is other, category detail must not be null. If it is null, then valid, false, field, category detail, reason, required when category is other. So it specifies everything. It connects everything. The moment your category is other, then you need the category detail as a requirement. So this forces the enum escape valve contract that we defined in this schema and gives us exactly what we want. If all three of them will pass, valid's value would be true. So it's a clean extraction, and now you can pass it downstream. The reason field on every failure is not a decoration. It's what you hand to the retry prompt as a specific feedback, and it will connect more, it will make more sense in the next video. So that was it for this. You have to remember the tool use enforces schema at API level, not at the prompt level. Null is an answer, but if it is omitted, it's a bug. So use nullable types for required fields. Enum plus other plus detailed field is the escape valve for open. Enum plus other plus detailed field is the escape valve for open-ended categories. So remember that. Now your extraction schema is now solid. The next question is what to do when Claude's output doesn't pass validation at all, which it will be, especially on edge cases. So the next video is going to be about the retry logic, when to try again, how to make the retry more likely to succeed, and when to stop and escalate rather than loop forever. So I will see you in the next one. Please make sure that you're going through all the walkthroughs, doing your assignments, answering those quiz questions. If you feel that you are stuck at a concept again and again, please come back to us. We are happy to help you anytime. I will see you in the next video.